Love is indeed the spirit of this church, and we gather together each week for this very reason, to listen deeply to where love is calling us next in our lives. And this is often so hard to do in the middle of all the noise and haste and busyness and distractions of daily living. And so we set aside this time right now together to quiet the mind, to calm the spirit, and to tune into the still small voice of wisdom within us. So as we prepare for this time of reflection and grounding and deep listening, I invite you to take a deep, slow breath. Set aside any distractions around you or on your screen. You might want to soften your close your eyes or soften your gaze. And let your shoulders drop and take one more deep, slow breath. Let's take a few moments just to be here together in silence, breathing. Source of all that is, beyond all knowing and imagining, the very ground of our being. We have come through so much to be here this morning. It is amazing that we are even here at all. And we give thanks for the sun shining, for the breath in our lungs, for another opportunity to love, to repair, to begin again, to hold boundaries, to enjoy this one unbelievable life. We are a people brought together by a shared commitment to love. Sometimes it's the most natural, the most nourishing connection in the world. And other times, this very act of loving can carry us to the brink, ushering us into terrain we would never choose to visit. Grief, heartbreak, worry, fear on behalf of a beloved, or just ambient fear. And this too, sometimes this is part of loving, a part of having a heart and being human. When love asks us to hold on and to keep showing up and to stay true and stay present. And in those times, may we discover the strength and compassion to stay put and stay true. And yet, sometimes relationships bring us to the brink in other ways. And we feel ourselves being carried out to sea by the powerful undertow of another person's emotional world. And the waves of those emotions or needs or requests wash over us, and it's hard to breathe. And if this continues, we know we will be submerged, disoriented, swept completely off solid ground. And love asks us to not go with the flow, but to find our footing and set a boundary. And our prayer this morning is one of discernment. May we trust in our heart that love also asks us to set boundaries. Love also asks us to remember where we end and where another person begins. Love invites us into clarity, sometimes difficult clarity, inviting us to care for ourselves and to keep ourselves whole. And sometimes that's exactly what it looks like to care for others too. May we have trust that respecting boundaries is an act of love, that having boundaries enables compassion and relationship, and that we can do hard things that lead to deeper love and greater freedom. This morning, we open up our hearts and we send love out to all those who are struggling, all those among us in the grip of addiction, those among us feeling hopelessness and despair, whose resources are utterly depleted, those of us who are grieving, who are fearful, who are hurting in mind, body, or spirit. May the pain be lessened. May hope find you in the most unexpected places. May love surround you and hold you tight today and in the days to come. We remember that here in our church community, there are those who are struggling and those who are celebrating as the cycle of life turns for us all. And our hearts are with Maggie Colon this morning, whose beloved cousin died this week. Our love is with Jennifer Rosenkrantz as she mourns the loss of her father. Our healing wishes are with Katie Miller as she recovers from recent health concerns related to her heart. May love be with you and with all of us. Amen.